Alright, if you're watching this video, I'm going to assume that you already have a sim and a scene that you are wanting to work with. So the first thing I'm going to do is drag this to make another window. And I always click View, Camera, Active Camera. Now on this side, I'm going to always see whatever my camera is looking at. I usually make it pretty small. And if I move my camera, now you can see that this updates with it. This is just so I can see, like, does the pose look how I want it to look and everything like that. So now what I'm going to do is in the top right navigation, I'm going to click on Rig and then Pose. And what you want to do is select the individual bones that you want to use. So if you press these drop downs here, these are going to list every single bone on the sim that is movable. The thing about this is there's a lot of bones that do absolutely nothing at all. I don't know what they do in reference to the game. If you're a CC creator, you probably know. Like they'll say like slot and stuff like that. But for our purposes, they don't really do anything. So what's tedious is finding the ones that actually do. And so it's going to take a little playing around sometimes to see what does what. But if you just click on one, you'll see your little arrows come up. Whenever you see these arrows, this means transform, which is move things around the scene, which you might think that's what you want, but really in most cases you're going to go to rotate. So now if we move her around left and right, you can kind of see, there she goes. Twist her around like that, there she goes. The one thing that is different than this that you won't use rotate for, if you want to move her around the scene, so left, right, front, back, always click on this B root bind, and then you can transform to kind of move her around. So let's say we want to move her to sit on the couch. So you might want to start at something similar to this. And then it's kind of tedious, but you just have to kind of think about how your own body moves. So your spine might turn down a little bit. Your legs. Your legs will move up. And as you can see, now she's floating up in the air. So if we go back to our root bind, we can move her closer to the couch. So obviously her legs look really stupid. So if you wanted to move those, you have to go to pelvis. So if I collapse everything just to show you, it's going to split everything into spine and pelvis. Obviously pelvis down is everything from the waist down. Spine and up is everything from the waist up. So if you click into the thigh, you can eventually find the calf, and you can rotate that individually. And now her foot's going through the floor. Well, we can bring her thigh up a little bit. And that's the gist of it. And I'm not going to go through and actually pose her because that would just waste your time, because this is not the scene that you're going to be working with probably. Now, in order to save this, if we wanted to save it right now, I'm going to click A on my keyboard, I, and then this menu comes up, and then location, rotation, and scale. You click that, and now this pose is saved. If we did not do this, this is not how she's going to be posed in the render. So now if I hit render, it's going to take a second. I have it on Eevee, so it shouldn't take that long, hopefully. But maybe it will. Oh, no, there it goes. Alright, so this is how that scene looks. You know, pretty dumb, but she is in the pose that we wanted. So, one thing that I have done, since there's a lot of like things that are kind of confusing, especially if you're kind of new to it, I actually wrote a script that's going to be in the description of this video. And if you execute the script, it's going to make your life a lot easier, because what it's going to do is I'm going to delete all of these bones that are totally useless so that you don't even have to guess. So that's going to take a lot of the guessing out of it. So I'm going to reset the scene, and then I'm going to show you how to run that and show you the changes that this script makes and how it makes it easier for you. Alright, so here we go. I have reset the scene, and I've made the viewport a little bit bigger by closing this window over here, just so you can see better what I'm doing. So what I want to do next is click on her name. For you, it probably just says rig. Just make sure you're clicking on the thing that has the little man. beside it, which is called an armature, but you know, if you didn't know, this is a little man. So click on the little man and then go to scripting. And then you're going to copy and paste the script that I've provided in the description below. So make sure when you copy and paste this that you're copying all of it at one time, just so nothing gets left out. And that includes, there's some white space down here, which is necessary. So I'm going to hit CTRL A, copy. Then I'm going to paste it in this window right here. So if you look here, we're in object mode now. You'll know the script runs successfully when it changes to pose mode, which should be almost instant. So Control V to paste. We're back in pose mode, so we know our script worked. So I'm going to go ahead and save, and then I'm going to go back to layout. So the first thing that we can kind of see that this has done, all the bones that are left on the sim are now visible. Before, you could see the ones on her face and you could see the ones on her hands, but sometimes the ones on the body, you can't actually see them. So I've made those visible with the script. Additionally, now if we go to the pose, you'll see none of those things that say slot or prop are going to be there. I don't know if anybody actually uses those when they do renders, but if you do, at the very end of the video, I'll show you how to edit the script to include those. But I think for most people, they won't be using them. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move her out so we can see her whole body. And to show you what else this has done, I have added inverse kinematic constraints to certain portions of her body, to certain bones, and that's something that makes it a little bit easier for you to pose faster. So if I select her foot and I move it up, now it will move her knee with it. So I'll do that to both feet. This is really helpful, and sometimes you'll still have to tweak individual bones. So like, let's say if I was like, okay, I don't like her leg being that close, you know, you can still do that like this. So it's only the feet that will affect everything. And same for the arms. If we select the hand and we use the transform on it, now the whole arm will move. So this goes all the way up to the shoulder. So I'm just going to do something like that. And then I'm going to do, to show you, before I move this hand, another place that I've placed these is on the fingers as well. And it's going to be only on this uppermost point of each finger. So now if I grab this and I pull it in, as you can see, it bends the whole finger. So this makes it a ton easier to actually do hand poses, which, you know, suck. So this is like way helpful, because a lot of the times it's really hard to make the hands look like natural, you know. So this is like one of the my favorite things about using inverse kinematics, is you can do stuff like that, and it just kind of saves you a little bit of time. So I'm gonna move her arm in here. And then I'm going to move her down. I'm going to rotate her legs up. And now move her back to where she's actually like sitting on the couch. Alright, she looks really awkward, but you see the difference in what we were able to do. I'm going to click save, and I'm going to render it. And that's basically it. So I hope that that script helps somebody. I hope that this tutorial helped anybody who wasn't quite sure how to do it. As you can see, she looks really weird, but you know, you can tweak this pose any way you like. At a certain point, I believe that actually posing your sim yourself is almost faster than hunting down pose packs to import. But it's going to be personal preference. So if you want to see what you need to edit on the specific script, if you do need the props or the like Wicked Whims parts or anything, then stay and I'll show you what you need to edit. Alright, so if you stuck around because you wanted to see how to edit this script, the script for Blender is written in Python. You don't have to be familiar with it whatsoever in order to do this. You just have to be brave enough to try it. So if you look up here in this thing that says useless bones, if you want anything that I've removed with this script, all you have to do is take it out of this. So if I highlight that and erase it, now the prop bones will be included. And that's the same for slot, glasses, pole, carry, anything you see here, you can do it. So that should be pretty straightforward. The other thing is, if you do this and you remove something that has a lot of bones, so for example the tongue has a lot of bones, then probably just delete this, because anything that has the number 2 in it that gets added back is gonna cause a problem just with the way the script is written. It's not that hard to edit, so you could probably figure it out if you really were desperate to. Or if you have any other questions about how you can edit this script to do other things, feel free to leave a comment, or join our Facebook group, which I'll leave an edit to, or a link to. And anybody will try to answer your questions who can. All right. Thank you.